Hey, so this is a quick demo of a prototype that I built for a plugin for a WordPress multi-site environment. So one of the things that really annoy me is that when on a multi-site, so this is a multi-site of 3 sites, could be any of your projects, course sites, product sites. This would apply to many plugin vendors out there. When you're navigating between them, there's no simple way to have or be automatically logged into each one of them. So if you're logged into the main site, you still have to repeatedly log into all the other sites because of how the login cookies work and the cross-domain restrictions. I've built a plugin that allows you to basically log into the main site. And then if I go to another site on this network, all I have to do is click on the Login with Multisite SSO button. And you see that it did the whole dance behind the scenes and it logged me in. So if I go to the subdomain and another one, all I have to do is just click on login here. This is pretty convenient, right? That's why I built it, right? Let's look at the code that is behind this. This is just one file, so there's less than 200 lines of code, as a prototype needs to be. The way it works is I've organized this in order of how the login dance happens. This is the login message that we saw there. So if you're on one of the subsites, not the main site, you get a button that says Login with Multisite SSO. Now, what happens then? If you click on that button, you're sent to the main site of the network with this information of the blog ID that you're attempting to log in. And the idea is that if you're logged into this main site and we know where you are attempting to log into, we can basically send some secret data in the payload back to that site, confirming that you were logged into the network and that you should be then logged in on that subsite out of the box without entering any password. So the idea here is that now here we were capturing this destination blog ID. We were fetching the details, verifying that they were all correct. Then we are adding the blog ID data to a few instances where, let's say you log in with an incorrect password on this network site. We still need to preserve this blog ID reference so that we can go back after we've actually successfully logged into this network site. We're also adding a notification, as you saw there, that you're logging in to actually another site by going to that main network site. Now, during the login redirect, so this is when you've actually logged in to the main site, and then it is attempting to communicate back to the blog where you originated that request that indeed there is a valid session for this user and you should be allowed to authenticate as long as you carry this secret token. So what we do is we generate a random password, 42 characters in length. We store it in the user meta of that user that we know is logged into the main site, you, obviously. And then we create a payload that we're going to send back to that site that was requesting the login data. And we're going to say, this is for this user ID, and we're going to send a hashed version of that session token. And then there's some redirect thing that we're piggybacking onto all these requests so that you would land into the correct place. And then we send you back to this kind of callback URL, which is basically the login URL. Now on that login URL, now you're on that blog where you're actually trying to log in, right? We're getting this user ID and that token that I mentioned before. Now, instead of using this token from the URL, we're actually asking the database for the original version that is stored in the user meta for that user. We're deleting that token as well. So this means that if this token was, or this traffic was captured somehow, and you could replay this same kind of session token, again, it would fail automatically because the token would not exist here. So then we do the hash comparison of that retrieved from the database value. We hash it using the same hashing logic and compare it with the token that we received in the payload. And if everything is a pass, then we do the authentication cookies. So this session is then authenticated. We again deal with the redirects if anything, or send you back to the main dashboard. And that's it. If anybody has input on whether this is super safe or there is edge cases where this would not work that well or where this could be abused, I'd be interested to hear about that. I've worked with multiple of single sign-on plugins, mostly with Okta and different SAML integrations. All of them rely on this idea that there is this shared secret in a form of an encryption key, for example, on the server, that the back channel can communicate behind the scenes, that we do not have to expose to the user. In this case, I opted for creating a simple token that is a one-time token essentially, which then basically allows you to share this knowledge about whether the user was actually valid on the origin site. So I'm going to be putting this out as a plugin at some point, potentially a commercial one. If you find this useful or if you would be interested in getting this, do let me know in the comments, and have a great day.